just completed two parts. First is what is FAB framework, and we understood this framework with the help of Neuro Linguistic Programming also with the NLP way. And now we are going to discuss the implementation part of that. So I am asking you to just generate three answers for each of the question I am going to give you. I am going to give you now. And so now let's understand this feature part, which is logical and self-learning part towards the customer, as we discussed yesterday. Right. So now, how can you emphasize the feature of your product or service? Right. How can you emphasize that in a way that resonates with your customers' logical learning preferences? So now think about your customers' logic, how they learn, and in that way emphasize the features. Right. Give three answers. And what are the additional information and demonstration can you provide, right, to ensure that customer fully understand and appreciate the logical aspect of your offering? So it may be price, it may be time, it may be anything which is logical way of, which is rational way of dealing with them. Right? So this is second question. Answer three times. I mean three different options. Okay. So now let's move to the advantage part, which is actually again logical, and which is explained by salesman to the customer. Right? So now the question is, how can you communicate the advantages of your product or service? How? In a way that addresses specific pain points of your customer may have. Okay? So while explaining, just think about that also. It may be pain, pleasure, anything. Three answers. Next question: what strategies can you employ to highlight the competitive advantage of your offering and differentiate it from alternative in the market? So here you are telling the advantage, you are differentiating. I mean, actually sales pitch is complex because it is not simple as advantage, but you must include other aspects also. Third one, benefit, which is pleasure part of the subconscious mind. So in what ways can you enhance the pleasure aspect of your product, right? How your product can give the pleasure, right? So pleasure aspect of your product or service benefits to create a more emotional connection with your customers. Think three answers. Next question: how can you tailor your benefits explanation to resonate with the specific desires and aspiration of your target audience? Right? It's just like just fine tuning, tailor your benefit explanation. So you need to understand the desires before presentation, aspirations before presentation. So three answers. Now we are moving to the beyond part, where we have not addressed any pain point till now. So now that pain point I have given in the second part, which I included. Okay. So what pain points do your customer commonly experience? Do you have that research? Do you have that data? If not, do you have, generate and keep, right? So what pain points do your customers commonly experience, and how can you address or alleviate those pains through your product or service? As simple as that. Okay, the answers. Next, how can you effectively communicate the negative consequences of not choosing your solution to create sense of urgency and need? This is boom, very important. Okay, three answers. And the last point is, which is again also beyond FAB framework, what subconscious patterns? Subconscious patterns are not visible directly. Remember this. So, what subconscious patterns can you identify in your target audience? And how can you align your sales pitch to those patterns? Yes, yes. And the last one is, how can you leverage esoteric NLP, which is from esoteric architecture? How can you leverage esoteric NLP to identify hidden patterns to skyrocket your sales? So this was all about coaching questions, implementation part. Thank you for completing this framework, and see you later.